wanted to take some time and speak to some of the people who might be considering taking in a relative that is receiving benefits in the system and does not want to work. Now, I know we're going through a time now where we're having to tighten our belts in some areas, and some people have to make some adjustments. They may have some additional room in their homes, and they might be in a position to take in a relative or a friend. That person is probably being displaced because of a situation where they have to relocate because, government housing situation. They might be because of eviction or whatever the case may be. And that person is living off the system by receiving a monthly check, SSI, SSDI, or whatever the case may be. So this other person may have extra space for them and decides to take them in. So the person who's taking them in is thinking in their mind, okay, well, that's a good way of helping them out. Besides, we could, we're in a situation where, we could use the extra money for whatever reason. They're strapped for cash and figured, okay, this person's bringing in, let's say, $900 extra a month, $1,000 extra a month because of their disability that can contribute towards the bills. And just on the average, and I'm just sort of ballpark, I would just say on the average monthly check received by SSI, SSDI, and this is just a general average, is around $900 or $1,000 a month received by someone on an average. Like I said, it goes up or down. So if someone, let's say because there was a job loss or a significant loss in their house and they have an extra room and they could let this person in, then they figure, okay, well, this person can contribute to the household, and they're thinking, okay, I'm going to get an extra $1,000 a month. But at the end of the day, they don't get an extra $1,000 a month. And let me explain why they don't get an extra $1,000 a month. And in some cases, they actually lose money at the end of the day. I'm going to give you a scenario and break it down to you and let you know how it could be a loss by taking in this person who does not work but just collects a check. Okay, let's say that you have two people in the household, and they were both working, and they were in a house, and they were taking care of the bills and whatever the case may be. And let's just say a situation happened where one person got laid off or injured, the other person got a reduction in hours, and bills are getting behind. They have an extra room in the house, whatever used to be the home office, whatever used to be the den, they can convert that into a bedroom, and they decided, we're going to take in a relative. You have a relative that's living in another part of town. They could be living in another city. Whatever Section 8 or HUD housing that they were in, that housing is being shut down, is being demolished because of gentrification, because unfortunately that's happening nowadays. A lot of people are being relocated because of a sweep, because there are a lot of Section 8 sweeps that are going on now. And so they're saying, we got to, people in the family are trying to find how to take this person in. Now, this person is being relocated, has been living off the system for a number of years. They'll work a little bit of work here and there, but they're not in school, they're not actively working because they're so afraid. They brainwash themselves into believing that if they get a job, they're going to lose that $1,000 a month. So they won't work anything. They're not looking for a career or anything like that because they want to keep that government check coming in. So they're basically home all day long. They'll do stuff online, they'll, social media, TikTok, whatever the case may be. They're in and out. But for the most part, they're home every day. And they just collect a check. They may get some food benefits as well. They may get, of course, they're getting state health insurance, that type of thing. So living in subsidized housing, of course, their rent was next to nothing. but now they have to take a place to stay. So back to the family that suffered this drastic loss in income, they don't have enough money, they don't have an emergency fund, and they don't have any money saved up to move. Bills are getting behind, so they're thinking, okay, well, let's go ahead and take this person in because that extra $1,000 a month that they're bringing in, that can help us get caught up on the bills. And then that way they'll have a place to stay. Sounds ideal, right? Okay. Let me break down how their lack of activity can cause a problem and actually put these people further behind. Anytime that you bring another person into the home that is not working, your utility bills are going to go up. Your food bill is going to go up. Especially if they're home all day, so that's going to be more electricity being used. That's going to be more water being used. That's going to be more heat, more gas being used. Also, if that person is home all day long, and let's say people are used to being out, school, work, whatever the case may be, there might be safety issues because you don't know if they're letting people in and out your house. So that might be a safety concern. You don't know if they use any substances. But financially speaking, your utility bills are going to go up. Food consumption bills are going to go up. Now, as I stated before, this person might receive food benefits, but you don't know how much. You don't know what their eating habits are. You don't know what their living habits are. You don't know what their cleaning habits are. So understand that if you do take this person in, even though they are getting a monthly check in the amount of $1,000, that whole $1,000 is not going to be contributed to the household, because you have to understand the fact that your utility bills are going to go up because you have an extra person in the household. So your living expenses right now are going to go up. So the whole $1,000 is not going to go to the household. And in some cases, especially if someone is sitting home all the time, if they're the type of person that has to have the lights on and then they fall asleep to the TV and the computer all the time and you're not used to that, or if they're the type of person who likes to cook all of the time and you're not used to that, or if they're the type of person that likes to take 2-3 showers a day, or has an OCD about washing their hands all the time, or washes their hair all the time, or washes clothes 2-3 times a week when they don't go anywhere, that type of thing. If they are a person that consumes a lot of utilities all the time, expect your bills to either double or triple. It could be a cold-natured person in the wintertime that has to keep the heat on all the time. It could be a hot-natured person in the summertime that has to keep the air conditioner on all the time. This is a person, if you have a household where you are not used to being home and you have people that are, where you're used to these things being off during the day, which is the time where the most amount is being charged during the day for energy consumption, and this person is home using the energy, then the bills might double, in some cases triple. So that little bit of income that you receive is going to go towards that. So that whole $1,000, that $1,000 might break down to maybe $500 extra a month. And if that person consumes a lot of food, the little bit that they do have in food assistance might not even matter, because that will dig into the food budget. So the little bit that they do contribute probably won't even amount to much, because they probably go through that and then some. You don't know. And again, the safety issue. You don't know who's coming in and out of your house while you're not there. So just be a little careful. Understand the lifestyle of the people that you're taking in. And don't just look at the dollar signs as far as trying to get someone extra into your home. And understand that it's going to involve more consumption of your resources when you bring another person in. If that person has their own furniture, are they going to be bringing their own furniture, or is the room that you have going to be already furnished? If it's already furnished, then that's fine. If the furniture is already paid for, that's fine. But if it's unfurnished, does that person have their own furniture, or do you have to get furniture for them? There's a lot of things that you have to think about and consider. So if that person is not working or not actively seeking a job, and they're coming to stay with you, and all they're bringing is $1,000 a month, and you're already behind in major things like the mortgage payment or the rent payment, then it might be detrimental to even bring this person in if they're not looking to even go to work to even try to help contribute to the household. It'll probably be best for you to just consider moving into a smaller place as an alternative, as opposed to try to bring somebody in to a house that's already where you're already behind on the bills, because that might make a bad situation worse. So everybody's situation is different, but just don't let the money have you thinking that that person is going to be the holy grail and that person is going to be the solution to all of your financial problems, because it may not. Especially if the person does not have the mentality to go to work and contribute to the household. Because over a period of time, let's say that you do get out of the financial situation, over a period of time, you're going to be kind of tired after a while of somebody just sitting in the house all the time while everybody else is working. You're going to be tired of it. And that $1,000 a month, you're really not going to be that enthused about it. You're really not going to be that, it's not going to be that inviting of a thing anymore. It's not going to be that exciting of a thing anymore. It's not going to be that important of a reason for that person to be there. You're going to be tired of coming home every single day knowing that person's been laying around doing nothing and everybody else has been out all day busting their ass. It's just going to be a matter of time, especially once you get caught up on the bills. Because you're going to be like, okay, if we can do it, how come you can't do it? So it's going to be exhausting. It really is. So just keep that in mind for those of you who are looking to take somebody in. Understand the lifestyle, understand the intent, and just don't let the money be the only sole reason for you taking someone in. Just look at the big picture and look at the fact that your utilities and things will go up. So at the end of the day, that overall price tag is going to go down as far as the extra income, and see if that's going to help you get caught up on what you're behind with. And if it's not, then you might just want to consider just, looking for a place that's a little bit smaller, and just staying in that smaller place until you can get your finances in order. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Peace.